Hello, what culture? How you doing after a jam-packed weekend of WWE action? I hope the answer is spiffing. But yeah, after we did jump into the ups and downs yesterday from NXT War Games, and I implore you to go check that out if you missed it, now it's time to get onto the big guns. It's time to get onto the ups and downs for Survivor Series, and man, what a roller coaster ride this is going to be. Anyway, I am Simon Miller from What Culture. There's ups and downs. We're going to start with the pre-show as a whole, because if WWE is just going to throw some random matches on there, as if from nowhere, why should I care about it either? You don't care about it, WWE, so neither am I. With that said, it's going to get up. We did have Matt Hardy lose to Elias after the drift away, and that match just popped up as if it was magic, and then we did see Enzo retain his Cruiserweight Championship against Kalisto, and it was fine, it was alright, I'm not going to get mad about it, whatever. Amazingly, we also did see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat Breezango. If that isn't proof that they're in somebody's bad books, I think they're definitely in somebody's bad books. Then the show proper started and it kicked off with the New Day versus The Shield, and have a guess what it's going to get. You're right, an up. The crowd was really into both teams, aside from when Roman Reigns got in the ring. When you see Roman Reigns in a ring by himself, you just have to boo him. That's just the law now. And the finish came when, yes, The Shield triple power bombed Kofi Kingston off the second rope. 1, 2, 3. Raw goes 1-0 up in the big Raw versus SmackDown showdown. I think we all expected this. And it was nice to see Roman in the opener though, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way. We were all getting really mad going, oh, Reigns, Reigns, Reigns. So WWE have kind of looked into that and they've kind of changed that, and it showed that Reigns will do whatever you tell him to do. So maybe we are being a bit harsh on him. And I'm going to give another up to the women's Raw versus SmackDown match, because while it was a bit squiffy here and there, and it wasn't the smoothest of rides, it did what it should have done, and that's get Asuka more over. The whole deal here, when push came to shove, was that Asuka started taking people out from afar like she was a sniper. I did that too early. I should have waited until I said sniper and then done that, but never mind. And yeah, of course, there were a few botched spots here by the people you'd expect, but people tried hard. I like effort. As for the eliminations, forgive me if I get this wrong, a lot happens in these matches and I'm there scrawling it down as best I can, but I'm pretty sure it went like this. Bayley rolled up Becky Lynch, or Lunch, as my autocorrect kept changing it to, and imagine that, what a gimmick that is. Becky Lunch. Bayley then got super kicked out of the match by Tamina. Nia Jax got herself counted out, because of course. Naomi then rolled up Alicia Fox, but that kind of seemed like a mistake. I think the ref may have counted a bit too soon, but whatever, it still worked out. Sasha eliminated Naomi after the bank statement. Sasha tapped out to the sharpshooter courtesy of Natty. Then Asuka tapped out Natty and Tamina, because she's awesome. Now, I'm about to be too kind here, but I gotta follow my gut. If my gut says something, that's what I gotta go with. So The Miz versus Baron Corbin, admittedly a low light of the show, I'm going to give it an up. And yeah, this wasn't at the level of some of the other matches on the show. But have a guess what? I sat there on my couch, which isn't even there, pointing at nothing, and I enjoyed it. And if I enjoy something, I'm not going to stand here and give it a down. Who do you think I am, a criminal? That's why I get an up. The Miztourage got involved, but even then they couldn't stop Big Boy Baron, which kind of sums up how the company sees the Miztourage and the Miz, and that Baron Corbin is still the big project here. He hit the end of the days. SmackDown gets the win, and that's 2-1. In favour of Raw, that is. Not just randomly 2-1, whatever that means. In the favour of Raw. Raw 2, SmackDown 1. And what do you want from me as well? What do you want from me? Guess what came up next? It's the Usos versus The Bar. So of course I'm going to give that an up. I know the up column. No, it's that way. Which way is it? I don't know. Wherever the up one is. I know it's too high right now, but I'll balance it out in a second. Once again, it all comes down to the fact that all the 4 guys in the ring are really talented and really good, and more importantly, they've all clicked as teams. The Usos right now are on fire. They can't do anything wrong. And that's the same with Sheamus and Cesaro. They've clicked. They're like brothers. They get better every week. It ended with what seemed like a big FU to the Young Bucks of all people, because the Usos did hit a load of super kicks, and the commentators called it a super kick party. And we know where that comes from. We don't, it comes from the Young Bucks. But they did that. Cesaro took the fall. The Usos wins. It's now 2-2. Raw 2, SmackDown 2. But most importantly, it was really fun. Genuinely a really fun little fight. Jason Jordan then cut a promo. He got booed out of the building, and he was just given a load of garbage to say. He came across like a proper goody-goody two-shoes. That gets her down. And we're now going to come to a first on ups and downs, because next it was Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss. Amazingly, it's also going to get an up, so tick that box. But it's also going to get a down. Tick that box. Am I getting these right? I can't remember because it's all mirrored, obviously, for me. Don't know what I'm talking about. Either way, though, it's going to get an up and a down, which breaks the whole system. If Dave Meltzer can do it, so can I. The reason why is simple. They were given a lot of time, the crowd really enjoyed this, and the finish where Charlotte did apply the figure eight to beat Alexa Bliss was really well done. There were some fiddly bits here, though, especially towards the end, where Charlotte straight up missed a big boot. The two just have to carry on. But again, like I said earlier, we all make mistakes. That's why it also got an up and why it also got a down. Somewhere in the middle, SmackDown 3, Raw 2. And then it was my personal highlight of the evening because we got to Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. My word, it's getting it up. The reason it shone so much is it was less of a wrestling match and more of an actual fight. I mean, Brock Lesnar threw AJ Styles around like he was a small child. At one point, he threw him so high in the air, I didn't think he was ever going to come back down to the ground. I thought he'd just fly up out of my TV screen and we'd never see AJ Styles again as he careered out the Earth's atmosphere and just blew up. Brock won, of course, after he caught AJ Styles, who was attempting a phenomenal forearm, and turned it into an F5. But I don't care about that because no one was the loser here. I mean, at one point, Brock Lesnar was in the calf crusher and he was selling it so well, you actually thought AJ Styles may pull this off. And after the match, Brock continued to sell it. It was kind of a vibe, that maybe, just maybe, Brock got away with this because he was a bit too confident and he didn't, strike when the iron was hot. Either way, this was awesome. I could now watch an entire program between these two, and I kind of hope that come WrestleMania 34, somehow the big Brock versus Roman plan has changed. It won't be. I'm dreaming there. And we get Styles versus Lesnar too, because this genuinely, I think it was my favourite match of 2017. Or at least up there, and if I did give out stars ratings, I give it 5 stars, and then you could all come at me and tell me I'm an idiot. Don't care, loved it, and that evened it up. Can you believe it? On a Survivor Series show that was Raw vs SmackDown before the main event, it was Raw 3, SmackDown 3. Who saw that coming? What's wrong with my voice? They always say that when you do introduce something new, you shouldn't overmilk it. Well, give me that cow, because I am going to overmilk this, because yes, then we got to the main event, which was the men's Raw vs SmackDown match, and it is going to get ups and it is going to get downs because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down part by part, and this is why. Now, we're going to start with an up because there was some really cool moments during this match, especially when Triple H got in there and he had fights with all his NXT brethren. So he had a little fight with Bobby Roode, he had a little fight with Shinsuke Nakamura, and he had a little fight with Finn Balor, and that was great. They're like his fake kids, or whatever he calls them, and here he was on the main stage, on the main event, the main roster, all the main stuff, and he got to scraps with them, and that's why he gets an up. And we throw another up in there because some of the spots were great. We saw Team SmackDown suplex Braun Strowman through a table, and at one point, Finn Balor squared off against Shinsuke Nakamura, and everybody just went crazy. Braun Strowman gets an up too because he just ran amok throughout the whole thing, even after he got smashed through some wood, and he was one of the last 2 men standing. Here's the thing. The other man, part 2 in that equation, was Triple H. That gets it down. Now, as a fan in my own little world, I had no problem with this. I enjoyed seeing Triple H turn on Kurt Angle because he gave him a pedigree and he took Shane McMahon and he threw him onto Kurt Angle to make you go, oh no, what's going on? Has Triple H joined his brother-in-law Shane McMahon, and has he joined Team SmackDown? As it turned out though, that wasn't the case because although Triple H did turn on Raw, he then turned back and he pedigreed Shane McMahon and he took the win for Team Raw. And you gotta say, it's only fair, that spot should have been given to somebody else. And it was kinda cool when all was said and done because then the game did get punished by Braun Strowman. It was all like, don't do that again, I will show you, I am Braun Strowman. But that's not the point. We didn't really need to see Triple H at the center of all of this. I mean, he both won it for Team SmackDown and Team Raw, and once again he was the biggest babyface and he was the biggest heel. And the other nuts thing was that the last guy on Team SmackDown was Shane McMahon, even after Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had run down and tried to beat him up. And you know how Shane McMahon got rid of them? He chased them away with chairs. Super Shane. So all of that is obviously a down too. But I did think it was a decent match overall. It just had this big lull in the middle of it, and the finish did leave a lot to be desired. That did mean the overall score for the night was Raw 4 and SmackDown 3, so Raw is the superior brand, and now we'll just forget about this big battle because we're back to normality. Did anybody else get the feeling as well that maybe, just maybe, at WrestleMania 34, it's going to be Triple H versus Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon? I got that feeling. Not sure how I feel about it. All the eliminations went down in this order too. Braun Strowman did take out Shinsuke Nakamura with a running power slam, and to be honest, Nakamura in this match was treated like an afterthought. Then Bobby Roode also fell to the running power slam by Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman's now taken out 2 people. John Cena gave an attitude adjustment to Samoa Joe, and that sent Joe packing. Cena got eliminated by Kurt Angle following an angle slam, but he also got the coup de grace from Finn Balor. Balor flew away after getting hit by the RKO. Braun was back again with his running power slam to take out Randy Orton. Then yeah, Kurt Angle was out in the match because he got pedigreed by Triple H, and Shane McMahon was just thrown onto him, and then Triple H pedigreed Shane McMahon to have the win. Triple H, Braun Strowman, last 2 men standing. And that was Survivor Series, and I get it. The finish was a bit drab, but what are you going to do? I thought overall it was a great show, and all the changes that WWE had made in the weeks leading up to this meant it all worked out. It was a fantastic show. I had a good time, and the main part of it was only 3 hours 45. Given at one point I thought it was going to be 4.5. Thank goodness. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Survivor Series. Was it good? Was it bad? Are you happy? Are you sad? There's that box. Leave that comment, like, share and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com and read loads of Survivor Series articles today. Follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture, and yes, here's what I want you to do today. Go to yesterday, watch ups and downs from NXT War Games. You're here right now, watching ups and downs for Survivor Series. Join me tomorrow for ups and downs for Raw, then join me on Tuesday for ups and downs for SmackDown, and you don't even need to watch WWE TV anymore. I will watch WWE for you, and then use my brain, my eyes, and my mouth to regale you with all its stories. See you soon.
So, thanks for watching. Please feel free to click on any of these things around my head, or something terrible might happen to the dog. Too sweet me, bro. Traitor. Traitor.